We're predisposed to a lot of things. Suffering in a heart disease. My heart bleeds when I hear the screams. And every time I lost in life, it's probably cause I failed to leave. Lost patience, hard to breathe. Lost followers, I failed to lead. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like.
Yo, when we back, the Hip Hop Advocates, special guest ARTZ, the ARTZ.
He's known for a lot of things, not just NFTs like we were talking about.
Right. He's not a one-trick pony, you heard?
Not at all.
You got an album coming, you got a project coming.
Yeah.
Do you have a title for that?
It's called Then I Met You.
Then I Met You.
Yeah.
Then I Met You.
Yeah.
All right.
It's y'all want to hear what it's
Hell
about?
Yeah. This is what we're here for.
So, it is kind of like a love story. So I'll tell you what it is. It's like almost a dance club rap album, right? And I was inspired by being on the road internationally and seeing all these beautiful people. And one thing I noticed is like when I was in these crowds dancing with people, dudes was letting their girls dance. And they was dancing with them sometimes. And, like, I was just, like, vibing with them, right? And I said, wow, like, and the records that I was performing, a couple of them were unreleased records off this album on the tour. So I said, like, damn, rap has put people in such a place where they don't have fun no more. People be screw-faced, too cool in the club,
I see you.
Taking everything personal. They don't want to lose points, status, clout, right?
You don't want to shake your hips too much, right?
Right. or if you do, you probably one of the TikTok homies that's just like by himself or with a crew of the dancer homies, right? But in places like Paris and Berlin and Amsterdam and these places, people were just really genuinely vibing. And I started to say to myself, I'm like, yo, I have so much worldly music, you know, and that's how Then I Met You came about, because I wanted to tell a story about, you know, finding love and the road it takes to get there. You know, the bumps, the toxic relationships, the good relationships that might happen a little bit too soon. You know, maybe you met somebody at 24 that you really should have met at 40 because you might have been more prepared for it. And then meeting that person that balances you from all of it. And the album is like a quick, digestible project.
How many tracks?
It's 8 right now. Yeah, it's 8. It's like...
You just came $1 billion worth of game.
Right. This is like international arts all over this album. Like,
it's getting us hyped for this, man.
Yeah, I'll play some records off the air for y'all.
Any features on that, or is just you doing your thing?
Is there any features? Well, there might be like one feature on the whole album, but I felt like that purposely I should have, like, it just came together organic. Because, you know, I've been doing a few features recently, you know, Styles, Trinidad, Ari Lennox.
Yeah.
So
that's a big record, by the way.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And we could talk about that too. But yeah, with this album, I was just like, yo, some of it I recorded on the road on tour. So I would be at these Airbnbs, just microphone. I had mad equipment with me, and I was dolo. I was like programming my DJ set.
So you on some rush shit.
Yo, a lot of people compare, so that's like my long lost twin. Yeah, he's doing his thing independently for sure.
Just grow your hair, man. That's it.
No, I used to have the long hair, so that's why a lot of my homies be teasing me with that shit. They like, yo, Russ stole your flow, son. And I be like, yeah, nah, he's talented, and I love what he's preaching. You know, like that business, that game. You know, Nipsey was preaching that. Hov was preaching that. Anybody creating ownership. You know, and that's what all this shit is about. That's what NFTs is preaching, right? Like, is that ownership. So. For me, you got to get it by any means necessary. So there's going to be moments where I got the whole team with me, security guards, all that. And then there's going to be moments where it's like, yo, you want to come on this, you want to go on this Europe tour? Shit, I don't got nobody to go with me. All right, well then guess what? I'm going to buy a DJ mixer. I'm going to learn how to DJ in the next 2 months, which I did. I programmed all my music to be on the drum pad. So when I hit one button, the whole set run. After I perform, I go straight to my merch stand. I'm working my own merch stand, signing autographs.
This is serious shit, bro.
You're going to see this all on the Reject Dreams TV episodes, the different webisode series. There's a webisode series coming out called ARTZ.Today, and that's going to show you the behind the scenes of all of that.
Wow.
But you got to get it by any motherfucking means necessary. I was hiring a videographer in every different country. Some of them I'm referred to. Some of them I'm just tracking on Instagram hashtags. Like, yo, they got a vibe. All right, they could capture this. This is what I need. I need you to capture the performance, capture some BTS before and after, run and gun, take a couple photos. How much? Okay, cool. And I was doing that in every city. And then I was editing. Some of the shows was only like a day and a half, so I was trying to edit little 1 minute recaps so y'all could see them live in the moment too. So it was a lot. I was tired as fuck, but I was like, yo, if you want this shit, you gotta book a flight to Bosnia by yourself.
It sounds like a lot of work, but it also sounds fun, yo.
It is fun. It's
sounds
fun,
good.
but it's a lot of work. But it beats your fucking body down. And that's why when I got back to the gym heavy. You know, I've been working on my gym shit. You know why? Because you try performing 20, 30-minute sets, and then the same night, you get home at 3 in the morning, you got to be at the airport at 7, and then when you arrive in Germany at 2 o'clock, by the time dust settles, taxi cab get to your Airbnb, you got to be at the venue that same night at 8 p.m.
Probably eating.
Boy, we was living off tequila shots because just to keep us like, you know, smoking joints, like type shit. It's a high, but it beats the fuck out of you. So you gotta be fucking prepared. And if you really want it bad enough, you're gonna do it. You know, them boys that ain't sweating in the gym ain't putting in work. You know what I'm saying?
Word.
Real talk.
Wow, man. Talking about sweating, talking about putting in work in the gym. You know, the hip hop advocates. You know, when we got people on here, we don't just. You mentioned earlier, like some people just skim through artists. Whatever they see on the headlines and everything, we don't. We go and we dive deep. We dive deep here. And my man Erupt, he's a deep diver. He's a scuba diver.
Yeah.
So you know he has a magnifying glass on everything, and
he goes
Erupt,
through all the crevices.
With the octopuses and the Loch Ness monsters.
And the munches.
So my man's been listening to some of your new tracks, old tracks. Dissecting them, and he's picked a few bars for you, man.
Okay.
And Erupt, take it away, brother.
So the name of the game that we like to play. You wasn't around for this one the first time around, but we call it Bars with Arts. You heard? Bars. What song are these bars from? All right. In your catalog, this is your bars, all right?
Oh shit.
Okay.
Let's see. If you hating on me, then it's love too. I'm a reject. I can't judge you. Trying to throw you off, yo. I'm trying to throw you off.
Yeah, no. You did justice, because that's Day of the Dead, I think.
Oh, he got it?
Yeah, no, he got it. Yeah,
One for one.
absolutely.
I speak all facts in my shit, so a lot of the times I'm probably going to be able to get it.
Yo, you said your portfolio's down? Ha! I toured the world off of NFTs. I'm so fly, I'm the shit. None of y'all can F with me.
I definitely didn't say that. I definitely didn't say that.
Yo, you got me, bro. I could have sworn I would.
Nah, boy. I know my poetry, y'all. Nah. He gonna be like, motherfucker, I wrote that.
All right, things.
So I'm up 1 point right now.
You traveled and done a lot of shows in different cities. I know you have a lot of fans. And have you ever met a fan that's like you're interested more into the NFTs opposed to the music?
Knowing who your fan is, knowing how to continue the conversation with them, right? That's super important, right? the fan that meets me in San Diego and then drives 6 hours the next day to see a show in Garden Grove, Anaheim, California.
That's sick right there.
That's the fan I need to keep speaking to, because that's the real reject right there.
Yep.
You know, then there was a young lady like that. She was a Marine, right? That fan, I believe, or those type of fans are gonna be the ones that buy my T-shirt on tour.
Yeah,
They buy the poster. They buy the NFT. They buy the album.
The finesse.
You know what I'm saying? They see the vision, the full-on vision, not, oh, he blew up off this one single. Most people only know your single, right? A real fan is gonna know them album cuts. They're gonna quote them bars from them joints that wasn't the singles. You know what I'm saying?
And
Those are the people.
Even the bonuses.
Even the bonuses.
Even the bonus bars, they're gonna make up some bars when they drop.
but before I forget this, my shorty's a big fan of Ari Lennox.
Yeah,
You got a song with her.
yeah.
How did that come to be?
Okay, so myself and Ari Lennox.
I'll be sleeping on the couch if I didn't ask you that.
Yeah, right. You'd be in the doghouse. Myself and Ari, we were double booked for a studio session with my homie Ty the Sound God, and we were waiting in the lobby, and she's like, "Oh, who you waiting on?" I'm like, "I'm waiting on my guy Ty," and she's like, "I'm waiting on Ty," and I'm like, "For what time?" And she's like, 6 o'clock. How about you? I'm like, 6 o'clock. So we kind of like merged our session together.
That's ill.
And we ended up vibing. I let her.
That's how real artists do it.
Yeah, we was like,
Not
yo.
no ego shit, man.
And Ty, well, he was like, yo, this is like, the artist I work with. So, and I was like, yo, do your thing. I heard her voice. She was amazing. I had this song that I was working on for a while, and I was trying to find the right singer for it, but I just wasn't getting that right vibe. And when I heard her, I was like, yo, I got this chorus that I think I would love for you to sing. And I kind of performed it for her in the studio, and she was like, okay, cool. Like, let me hear it again. I performed it a couple more times, and then she went in the booth and she did everything I imagined. She added that.
Fire. I like the video too. You guys got that the little cartoons going on.
Yeah, the
It's
animation. Fire. Yeah, it was inspired by Life. If you ever seen Life with Martin Lawrence and Eddie Murphy. Me and a cat named Stephen Hutchins came together. A dude that I had animate one of my first videos out of the pandemic, and then a year and a half later, we bumped into each other again in the NFT space. And I was like, shit, I need a music video for this, and I can't get with Ari in physical because the world shut down. So, boom, he does the animation, and it came out fly. And that's what it was based off of, like, arts in like a Prohibition era, like Life. Like Life, Eddie Murphy, Martin Lawrence, and I fall in love with this songstress on stage, but she's under the wing of the mobster boss, and he got her on the raps. And the song is talking about freedom, you know what I'm saying, which is a topic, I touch on a lot, being free, and she's kind of like working for that bar, and she can't be free because she's under the thumb of society, under maybe a boss, under a mob, however you want to take it metaphorically,
Sounds like a movie, right?
Yo, shout outs to Ty, man, for purposely double booking us so y'all can
Yeah, shouts to Ty the Sound God. That's my brother, man.
The world works in mysterious
He
ways.
finessed it.
And speaking, you performing, like doing the performances for her and performing song and just doing it over and over so she can get the drift. I think people, they want to get the drift too. Right? I think that's that time.
They want a second version.
You know what I'm saying?
A double dose.
You see my hands out. You know what I'm saying? He's pouring in here. Artz about to pour it on the stage, yo.
Yeah, we about to hit the stage with it. After a couple more rounds of this Kaliko, a wavy performance, I might fall off the stage.
Yo, show and prove art style. He's gonna splatter the canvas on your back.
We're predisposed to a lot of things. Suffering in a heart disease. My heart bleeds when I hear the screams. And every time I lost in life, it's probably cause I failed to leave. Lost patience, it's hard to breathe. Lost followers, I failed to lead. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, tell me all your wants and needs. That's how God feels, that's how Artz feels. That's how mom feels, I ain't been home lately. 365, it's been all year, baby. I've been outside with my whole squad lately. I've been out here making motion. I've been out here cooling and coasting. I've been out here getting money. I don't pay attention to emotions, baby. So tell me what you do for love, or tell me what you compromise, and the little things that you won't do for love. Surrendering your ego and pride, picking up the pieces off the floor, but somehow I gorilla glue my love. Stuck to my gut instinct, my head in the clouds. Cause before I had my pennies, I was proud. Proud for my fam, proud for my moms, proud for my dad, proud for my grams and everyone around. Blocking out the noise, I promise I won't drown. Throwing texts at the kid, LeBron out of bounds. Lost and found, reject dreaming is profound. With my ears to the street, somehow I'm underground. Tapped in, they already call me a legend. Pop culture, they already know that I'm stepping. Outside, they already know that it's pressure. Internationally, they been knew I was destined. Back home in Brooklyn, they still call me Nene. Parisian paparazzi, wear Balenci to Venice. They call me Prada Poppy, but Rick Owens my tennis. My passport tatted, Travis Barker menace. Guess I'm foreign and exotic. Shows out in Bosnia and Germany, they already know my body. Eating donuts, donuts, the late night snack. I help you get through the raps and quick maneuvers. Amsterdam, I'm grabbing a pack and hitting Ubers. The red light district ain't like Hooters. Lord, wait. Hoes looking at me like Neymar Jr., but I give them soul and the blues, Larry Hoover. The only difference is that my pen was the shooter. I never entertain all the hate or the rumors. Tell me what you gon' do, my love, what you gon' do, my love, and all the things you found new from love.
And that was the show and prove. Art style, you heard?
Did it up,
Good
kid.
fucking shit, bro.
Bang!
That's fucking ill,
That
man.
bang!
Yeah.
Did it up, bro.
I'll send no invoice after. Let's go. Yeah, no, I'm international art styles. Stop playing with me. I'm sending the invoice to the producer back here.
Yo,
Nah,
so this
I'm fucking with
episode, man, we started with, the famous Diddy shit, right, with Biggie. As we proceed, the war, he had the Warriors on there, right? The bad boys.
One of my favorite
that was
movies.
You a Biggie fan?
Yeah, favorite rapper.
That's your favorite rapper?
Definitely. Definitely top 5. Definitely my favorite rapper.
I think that wasn't your top 5. The first.
Yeah, no, of course. That
First episode we
Biggie
did
was
together.
Who started it off and like me for imagination wise, the way
Yeah.
his voice came across on the track, the way he used to story tell, his delivery, these things like captivated me as a young kid, especially living in Brooklyn. Yeah.
So I know my man Della, he does a great Biggie impersonation. I don't really want to do it.
Oh, you look so good. I'll suck on your thirty stuck.
Oh shit.
Oh man.
What a bar to be the one to go.
Yeah, but we had a
biggest
fan.
pause
We had a
line.
fan chime in.
Yes, one of our
And they said what?
good friend,
You remember what the fan said?
he was so he had a couple of questions, since it was March 9th when
anniversary.
that he died or whatever, his demise. So he had a couple of questions about Biggie, one was you think he would still be making music
If he was alive?
alive?
Yeah, I
Today?
definitely think. In
Today?
today's day and
In
era,
today's climate.
yeah, I think so because when you look at like his collaborations with like Bone Thugs and Harmony and some of the different cats from different coasts and stuff or different places in the world, I think how he collaborated with like the Lox and Mace and all those different talents, right? Hove, right? He would be similar to what I think Hove is doing right now. He might be in a more reserved place where he's not dropping every week, but he'll definitely be bodying a couple verses over a year, maybe one album every now and then.
How many albums you think he'll have by now?
By now, I feel like Big would at least have had 15 albums.
15
Or 13, or maybe at
Yeah,
least
man.
13.
LL got like
I mean, you think about it, man.
I feel like Biggie would have put out music faster eventually. You know why I say that? Because when you look at like look at the type of space we're in now. Albums used to have replay value for months.
Oh yeah.
Now albums are
Talk
having
about that a
replay
lot.
value
Talk
for
about that a
weeks.
lot.
Unless you really tapped into that artist and that music really speaks to you. I remember the first time I heard like The Miseducation of Lauryn Hill or like Life After Death. I listened to that shit for months. Or like Get Rich or Die Trying.
Yeah,
Like,
months.
the whole year we bumping that. Now it's like, yo, what's the next dose? And I feel like Biggie would have adapted to that. I feel like he definitely would have. He would have been rhyming with some of these younger drill cats. He would have been.
What about like collaborative albums? Think he would have.
Him and Hove would have definitely had one.
Yeah.
Well, they were working
By
on
now,
the commission,
hell
Yeah,
right?
commission, yep.
Hell yeah! It would. There probably would never been a best of both worlds if Biggie was still around, because it would have been. It would have. That would have overtook the R. Kelly and Jay-Z album. Would have been. That shit would never even existed.
No.
Yeah, they
I
got some
don't know.
bangers.
Yeah.
I think
No, it does. No, don't get me wrong, but
it might have just existed
I'm
with
saying-
Biggie on it.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like
Have you ever
that
heard
might have
his
never
interlude?
even
R.
been
Kelly
a
on the
thought.
Or Biggie would have been like, yo, he fucks little girl.
That might, but that might have never been a thought. It might have. It might. A lot of things in the whole fucking industry, in the
Might
whole
have been different, maybe.
the whole world is like, it's like the Matrix. No, I say the Matrix. I think I said that shit before earlier, but it's like one thing. It's like when a time, like movies, time travelers go back into the past and they tell you shit about the future, and then it changes the whole fucking. It changes
Changes the
the
result,
time
the
traveler's
outcome.
future.
Butterfly
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
yeah.
what I'm saying. Like it could. This whole game could have been.
Yeah, who
something
knows?
different.
Who knows?
So-
We don't know, man.
Now that you mentioned Biggie and what if this, what if that? If Biggie was still here, what you think would have been happening to Diddy? Would he been as big as he is now?
Yeah, I think Diddy was always meant to be a
yeah.
star and a hustler.
Because the Sean John shit, he got it from Biggie. Like Biggie wanted to do his own clothing line after Biggie passed.
I think Diddy was very much of what we see in the Kanye. He was a person of ideas, I remember the first time I went to go have a meeting at like the Bad Boy offices. I didn't get to meet Diddy per se, but I met some of his staff. And literally everything he's done, he's been successful with. His liquor brands, the groups he's signed, fucking all of them, even down to the making the band groups. Them dudes had gold and platinum albums, like and girls like
The dude, Ines,
nasty.
he's been popping up again because of his work.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
nasty.
So
some
like,
people just got it, man. I think Diddy he has the mind for this shit.
he definitely, and he understands how to curate ideas and bring people in the room, and I think his energy is like uplifting energy. It's an energy that people want to like
Positive
follow.
energy.
Yes, and the energy of not settling for mediocrity, but doing this shit big. No pun intended.
Sounds like
And I think that's why Biggie might have fought him on certain things. But he was big into like, I just watched like that Elvis movie, and the manager used to always say like, compared like performances like snow. He would say to do a snow job, right? And it's like almost it's like Christmas. I'm selling you the snow, like I'm selling you the spectacle. In the music business, when people are buying into the artist, they're buying into sometimes the mystery of the artist. They're buying into the charisma of the artist, the lifestyle, right? When you make those things feel as real, and you pass those 10,000 hours in order to really perfect those crafts, then you're really giving people an experience.
Yep.
It's a moment. It's not just somebody out there rapping.
Yeah. Nah, Biggie he was gonna start his own label. He was gonna do all that.
So I'm saying a lot of shit would have been different. Same, for both. And I still think
That's what they say.
Did
he kill him because of that?
I don't fall for that shit.
I heard
Man. That's all.
I think there's not to say with Big specifically, but I think I don't know. I think you could look into anybody's deaths and find some sort of conspiracy theory or something that might be fishy potentially, especially if you really love those icons. And it always conveniently happens when they're about to level up from everybody from Biggie, Tupac, fucking Michael Jackson, Elvis, you name it. Selena. Yeah, Selena fucking like.
That's people looking too deep into shit, man.
Right, but sometimes there be certain shit, but I would say like, you know, what ifs, right? You'll never be able to tell, but in the time span that Biggie was here, he had a huge impact on the world and hip hop to the point where you're still speaking about him.
The man was efficient.
And he was legendary, and he has a lot of legendary albums. And talking about albums, I don't know if you know, but my man Rupp, he's an album connoisseur. So what he does is that he tracks down old albums, new albums, and he brings it back to the viewers so they could tap in with that album. Rupp, you got anything in the chamber?
Well, I like the old, I like the new, but you know, this turn we're gonna go and stick with our guests. You know, Artz put out a project that we spoke about it earlier. We had the honor of being present for the release. Was it the release? Yeah, that was the actual like the album release
At SOB's.
At SOB's dope event. That shit was ill. The way you set it up, man, that shit was, you know, you had the fucking the pictures, like every track you had
the artwork.
Yeah, like it was ill.
Yeah, he had a violinist there too. You had some
I had a sax. Yeah, I had some saxophone player, piano player.
It was wild, man.
Yeah, we had a band.
But it brought it to life, man. And you know, you got
and a big ass security guard.
A big word. A big ass dude that I kept telling him, like, I know you from somewhere. I don't know from where, but I know you from somewhere.
Never the thing to say to a big security guard.
He's like,
I
yeah,
learned this myself.
I work a lot. I work on low. That's what he told me. He's like, I work on low. He was dead ass, dead face. I was like, yo, but don't worry, nigga. I know you from somewhere, son. I was like, but we good, baby. Don't worry, you good. You a fan.
Nah, you at the Rejects. You know, that's more so to keep the event on point. You know, I've traveled the whole fucking world, Dolos, no security, and you know, what can I say? People vibe with me. I'm a people person, so it's always the good energies, but it's also good to have security.
Yeah, man. Yeah, nah, man. But you know, a couple joints off the album. You know, No Politics, ill joint. I really like Step. I like Step. I like the whole track, the beat, the vibe around it. More Dilla featuring Styles P. We spoke about that earlier.
Yo, yeah, I fuck with 10 Seats.
10 Seats? That's not on that album.
That's not on that
That's
album.
old. That's back, man.
But that's one of my favorites, bro.
Yeah, that's back. That's back. That's a couple years back.
Shit.
But he got Keeping Receipts on there with Trinidad James. And then the latest one that you dropped, I mean, at least from today's date, the NFT song, New Freedom to Sell. That's not what NFT sound for. Stand for.
That's what Artz created. So if y'all hear that anyway,
Artz being artsy.
Yeah, we're gonna sue y'all.
That's dope.
But those are just some of the tracks, you know, to highlight the album that you know that I like. I rock with.
That was the whole album. That's what's up.
I mean, you got
besides like one song or maybe on it.
What was it like? It was like 8 joints on there, right? Or 7?
Yeah, but that was practically that's what's up. Thank you for fucking with it. You know,
it's definitely a vibe, man. It's definitely a vibe. The album, you know, the thing about your style, you know, is definitely is unique, is original, and it's something, you know, that if people pay attention and really lock into it, they'll feel it.
Appreciate that, man.
You know,
they get inspired too. They could get inspired.
Definitely inspired. No, definitely it'll inspire. You know, it'll inspire people to be fucking original, which is something that we lack in this day and age musically because there's a oversaturation of too many copycats out there.
Ooh.
Yeah, that to me is like the biggest compliment, bro, because that's like the every reward that you want to hear from somebody that like, yo, you sound like you, and I fuck with that.
Honestly, I can't compare you to like anybody, and that's one thing I hate doing to even artists in general.
Right.
Real artists, true artists, people that are deep into this shit and really home, you know, dig themselves into making something that's gonna stand out.
Right.
I don't like comparing people to yo, you sound like fucking Nas, or you sound like I don't like doing that to people.
Right.
Because I like just letting people know, like, yo, you sound like you.
Right.
You know, and that's the shit that stands out. That's the shit that makes people, that attracts, ears and eyes.
Yeah, we worked on that for like a really long time. Just crafting our own sound. Me and my brother Todd, the sound guy. And just any producers I've worked with, like always trying to be the most authentic in my voice and follow the direction of what my gut was telling me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's how I create music. So being authentic is the whole brand behind Reject Dreams too. It's like, it's what my events felt like for all these years, right? Creating spaces where people are free to be themselves. You could be a 24-year-old journalist from D.C., and you could be a 35-year-old dude that just came out of the pen, but you fucking with this reject shit. You find a new hope in it. Different people from different walks of life, but when they get under the same roof and the same umbrella, they not afraid to be themselves and show their own superpower.
Mm-hmm.
That's what being a reject dreamer is for me.
That's what it is.
And we
go ahead, Rob.
This year too, if I could expound, like I'm going to like highlight that a lot too. I'm starting this new platform called Reject Dreams TV, where there's gonna be different webisode series and segments where different personalities live.
Mm-hmm.
So me using my momentum, my energy, and my opportunity to be seen to also showcase other individuals that are doing it.
That sounds like arts.
So on top of that, right? We touched on your latest project. You got anything coming up?
Yeah, man.
As far as a full project,
Alone in the Metaverse took me down a rabbit hole, like what it was supposed to do, because in some way I feel like in that moment of my life I had to go through things alone. Like I feel like I casted the title into my personal life, and I was going through a lot of adversity and going down the rabbit hole of touring and doing these different things. So I was inspired on the road, being in these international places, to create this new, I would say like an EP, very short, digestible project. It's called Then I Met You. It's like a love story in some way, but like the different emotions of love, right?
Sounds like a movie title, yo.
That's what's up. I can see a movie for it, and maybe there will be a movie. I don't want to spoil it, but just maybe.
A little mini-series,
right?
You never know.
Starring Tom Hanks.
Yeah, the story of Tom Hanks. That's hilarious. I should get Tom Hanks in that shit. Yeah, he could be my pops. and Tom Hanks if he grew up Puerto Rican and Italian. Yeah.
Now we got Russ to play you.
My twin. No, Russ is my cousin. Yeah. But fucking like Then I Met You is just like the ray of emotions you go through with trying to find love. The toxic relationships, the relationships that maybe you weren't prepared for, that came 10 years too soon.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes finding the perfect person who balances you.
I met somebody today. He was like 70, going to dialysis, and he was telling me he got married 7 times.
Wow.
He was like, yo.
What a G.
Yeah, Dominican, of course. He was like, yo, I got married 7 times, but he was saying that certain marriages, it wasn't the right time. And just reflecting now, he's like, yo, I wasted a lot of time doing all of that, but you know what I'm saying, look at my life now. I'm alone. And that was sad. Wow.
Yeah, that's tough. But and you know what? Sometimes it's also people checking themselves and being accountable. Like maybe it's you, motherfucker, right? But
yes.
I mean, after 7 marriages,
right? Yeah, lucky number 7 was supposed to be it, bro.
You gotta look in the mirror,
right? But I say that to say, like, I think as a human you grow, you learn more about yourself, and you're starting to become more capable of loving yourself fully as you grow and develop, and that allows you to love somebody else and be able to fully respect them, fully treat them the right way, and being international and seeing like my music, songs like 10 Seats, right? Songs like November, some of the records from
I should have won a Grammy like Big Pun.
Right, shit, like seeing people vibe to that shit made me understand, like, yo, the world is ready for versatility, for a diverse perspective, for tunes that make them dance again. Not that shit that makes you be too cool, posted on the wall with the screw face, you know. So for this album, it's like a dance club rap album in some way. It's some shit that I know my American fans is gonna be just as happy as my international fans, you know.
We're excited for it, man.
We are.
Yeah,
because Figs, he's always saying like, yo, the fun in hip hop is diminishing, you know.
It's true.
And when you bring back the fun, man, that's where we at. That's where we're here, the advocates, yo. Bringing the fun back to hip hop. Damn it.
Because that's how it was created.
Right.
It was created on fun, on having a good time.
Right. B-boys and DJs and MCs.
You know, a fucking party.
The B-boy, the breakdancing was diverse from the whole violence. Yo, y'all want to fight? Do it dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I know a lot of dancers, man, respect, like, hip-hop. And I was watching the Grammys, and that inspired me a lot, too, because I was saying to myself, like, I'm watching the timeline of hip-hop being displayed in a short segment.
That was dope, man.
You can't fit everybody, but they did a pretty good job trying to cover, right?
They fucked it up at the end, though.
Yeah.
But it was
right, but they modernized it at the end. That's what I would say. I like the
They could have done it with somebody, a couple of different people at the end. With you know, for today's day.
Yeah, I think they were trying to keep up with the Joneses a little, but I'm being critiqued. But I fucked with all the artists, right? But I sat there and said to myself, I said, you know, it was crazy for me because I'm looking at it and I'm saying, wow, you know, as an artist, you always want to be the person on stage performing for everybody, right? And showing your world showing the world your message, right? But I noticed how much I have a rapport and history with hip hop in that one Grammy segment, because I used to work at the Apple store and I used to sell products to DJ Kool Herc, right? And Melly Mel, right?
Oh shit.
So then I went from performing and booking acts like Busta Rhymes, and Styles and the Locks was on that segment as well too, and I have a record with him, and that made me be like, for a moment.
That's crazy. You have both of them dudes on this last. Well, not you worked with both of them,
right? So
crazy.
I said to myself in that moment, I'm like, yo, you know, my hustle and my, you know, show and prove has led me to this space where it's like, yo, even if I'm not the person on that stage yet, I have a history with hip hop, and hip hop has really saved my life. It's changed my life in every way, you know. So I'm appreciative of that, and that's what keeps me going, you know.
Artz, before we wrap this up, man, can you give everybody your plugs where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at rejectdreams.com first and foremost. You can find me at ARTZ.Today on all social media platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. And you can find all my music at ARTZ, ARTZ, all capitals, Spotify, iTunes. Make sure you subscribing to everything. Comment, engage as much as possible. You know, we building our own Reject Dreams machine, so we could continue to, you know, spread my message, but also help other people spread their message. You know, I want to be a vessel as well as also a contributor to what I'm putting out to the world.
Reject Dreamer, baby.
25-8.
Sometimes it feels like it's deja vu around here, right? Like we've done this before.
I definitely feel like I've seen you rock that black Yankee hat and them Tims before. So yes.
Yo, man, but we really appreciate you, you know, hitting us up, still thinking about us.
Of course,
you know, we kept in contact this last few years. And fellas, this was fucking great, man.
Yeah, it's all about relationships, man. We're building a relationship, like you said, a network, community, all of that good stuff.
And we're gonna be in that spot, and that ARTZ.Today in Brooklyn.
You sound like Arts right now.
You gotta create, baby. You gotta create.
Lord.
ARTZ.Today in Brooklyn.
Yeah, we're gonna be there.
Sounding that French
But yeah, I
right
also
there.
want to say to y'all, I'm proud of y'all guys for continuing to do what you're doing on your platform. And that's why I reached out because, as it is just as important for people like me to tell my story, it's even more crucial and important for people like y'all to continue to share the story of people like me. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it, bro.
That's why we do it, man.
I've learned over the years of maintaining friendships and relationships and keeping those lines of communication open, never doing better and forgetting about the people that help continue to support you and shit like that. So
That was
salute
love,
to y'all.
man. That was love.
Yeah,
We
no
appreciate
doubt.
it. big time.
Rejects.
Yo,
Yeah, heard.
Salute.
we official, man. You can find us on the Hip Hop Advocates on everything. You know what I'm saying? Catch us on TikTok. We'll start doing some dances.
Word up. I think we have to start doing some.
We can't move our hips too much.
Or some ad-libbing, right?
do some worms on the ground and shit. I don't know.
Word up.
We everywhere. You heard?
We everywhere. We everywhere like Artz signing them titties. You heard? Peace.
We're predisposed to a lot of things. Suffering and a heart disease. My heart bleeds when I hear the screams. And every time I lost in life, it's probably cause I failed to leave. Lost patience, hard to breathe. Lost followers, I failed to lead. I'm looking at myself in the mirror like, tell me all your wants and needs. That's how God feels, that's how Artz feels. That's how mom feels, I ain't been home lately. 365, it's been all year, baby. I've been outside with my whole squad lately. I've been out here making motion. I've been out here cooling and coasting. I've been out here getting money. I don't pay attention to emotions, baby. So tell me what you do for love, or tell me what you compromise, and the little things that you won't do for love. Surrendering your ego and pride, picking up the pieces off the floor, but somehow I gorilla glue my love. Stuck to my gut instinct, my head in the clouds. Cause before I had my pennies, I was proud. Proud for my fam, proud for my moms, proud for my dad, proud for my grams and everyone around. Blocking out the noise, I promise I won't drown. Throwing text at the kid, LeBron out of bounds. Lost and found, reject dreaming is profound. With my ear to the street, somehow I'm underground. Tapped in, they already call me a legend. Pop culture, they already know that I'm stepping. Outside, they already know that it's pressure. Internationally, they been know I was destined. Back home in Brooklyn, they still call me Nene. Parisian paparazzi, wear Balenci to Venice. They call me Prada Poppy, but Rick Owens my tennis. My passport tatted, Travis Barker menace. Yes, I'm foreign and exotic. Shows out in Bosnia and Germany, they already know my body. Eating donuts, donuts, the late night snack. I help you get through the raps and quick maneuvers. Amsterdam, I'm grabbing a pack and hitting Ubers. The red light district ain't like Hooters. Lord, wait. Hoes looking at me like Neymar Jr., but I give them soul and the blues, Larry Hoover. The only difference is that my pen was the shooter. I never entertain all the hate or the rumors. Tell me what you gon' do, my love, what you gon' do, my love, and all the things you found new from love.